Alright, so we're finally back. I'm Alex though, and we're gonna be reacting to this video by House of Highlights, and it's Kobe Bryant's best 100 plays and moments of his NBA career. And it is his birthday today, so he does turn 43. And the sad part, he is no longer with us, and it's gonna be almost his 2 years anniversary as well this year. So man, time does fly. So it's almost gonna be 2 years of his death. And tomorrow it is 8/24, so we'll maybe continue to do some more Kobe Bryant stuff for tomorrow as well. Maybe more highlights, maybe more. I kind of want to see some of his interview stuff too as well, and maybe when other people are talking about Kobe Bryant as well. So we're gonna be doing that for tomorrow. And for me, Kobe Bryant will always be my GOAT, and no one can change my opinion. But that's everyone's opinion. They have their own GOAT. Some could be Michael Jordan, some could be LeBron James, some is going to be Kobe Bryant, or someone's going to be someone else. So you can't really, you can't judge anybody because everyone has their own opinion on who their GOAT is, and just stick with that. So I don't know why people love to argue who is the GOAT. How about all of them are a GOAT in their own ways? How about that? So let's get started with the video.
Almost a miracle. Oh, look out! Right him cover!
And we always remember about the Utah Jazz game because when he was a rookie at that time, he did airball 3 times in that game. So we're always going to remember that about Kobe Bryant as well. But at least he was determined and to take that shot at the young age. That's amazing. And then he became a clutch player. So end of the day, like, it ended up working for him. And for us to get to watch him for 20 years, that's just amazing. Kind of sucks. Actually, we got to see him more as a basketball player than he as a retired player. So that definitely kind of stings right there. So let's get back to the video though.
Boy, Kobe Bryant, what a play!
There's the dribble drive, nice move. Wow, did you see the move by the kid? That's Kobe.
18 years old, 6'6".
You're trying to put on a show here. Here we go. Here he goes. 360 turn in the air. Two-hand slam.
Yes.
But look at his style. Look at his rhythm. Check out the way he walks.
Even though we're not going to see this much often where players will stay on the same team for 20 years, like Kobe Bryant, Tim Duncan. Even though Tim Duncan, he almost left the team for Orlando, but for some reason Doc Rivers was he was just dumb. Then also Dirk Nowitzki. You're not going to see type of those players anymore where they stay on the same team for that long. Nowadays, you see a lot of players joining their friends and stuff like that. They're buddy a lot, so you're going to see a lot of super teams as well. And then there's not going to be stopping of super teams. There's always going to be a super team every decade, so you can't really do anything about it. And you're not going to see loyalty especially for the players and stuff like that. You're not going to see loyalty all the time because guess what? The owners and stuff like that too as well. They're not loyal to the players because they could just trade them and no one complains about that. But then again, when players leaves, everyone complains about that. But at the end of the day, it's just a business, and that's how it should be. But you know, we're not gonna see that. But seeing Kobe Bryant on the Lakers team for 20 years, it's amazing. We saw the ups and downs with the Lakers team as well. They had some good teams and they had some horrible teams as well at the same time that couldn't make it to the playoffs for a couple of years. But that's kind of like how Lakers were the last couple, like this decade, when they didn't have LeBron James or Anthony Davis. Like what, 6-7 years when we're on the lottery team the whole time. It was frustrating because even that one year we saw them won like what, 19 games. That was just awful. And then you saw the Chris Kaman when he was falling asleep on the bench. Yeah, we saw that type of team. But let's continue the video here.
He's cocky. He looks cocky.
Dishing off for Kobe Bryant. Oh, what a dunk!
7:49. Here's Kobe dribble driving underneath. Throws it back over.
He's still good with either one, with number 8 or 24. So he's still pretty good. But I know he was more a dunker and stuff like that when he was younger. But when he got older, he was more about the jump shots and shooting 3-pointers more than that. So, but let's continue. And he also got a lot smarter when he got a lot older too as well, especially with his footwork. that's one thing he always had was his footwork, and he always seemed to be working on that and made some different plays all the time with his footwork. And people still fall for it for some reason, but let's continue here.
Hand and in, basket count. What a play.
Here comes Bryant ahead of the field with the slap. That was the ooh and a ah and a clap.
Kobe Bryant. Gordon spinning up. Oh, baby.
Oh man, just Kobe Bryant, he did actually, he didn't like Dale Harris at all because when he was a rookie, he didn't really play Kobe Bryant too much. And then he ended up getting fired. Then he went to Dallas, I believe. Then every time Kobe Bryant played against Dale Harris, like he always tried to prove a point to him as well why he was probably a really good player. But looking at that team, like Nick Van Exel and Eddie Jones, man, that would have been an amazing team to have that with Kobe Bryant. But then again, they had to get rid of those two to give Kobe Bryant some minutes. But I think they could have still played all together, especially Nick Van Exel at the point guard. Then you could have had Eddie Jones at the 2 or the 3 with Kobe Bryant. And then you had Shaq. Man, that team would have been really, really amazing. Maybe even win a little bit more titles there. But for them to trade them to give Kobe Bryant minutes and stuff like that. And then there was like a younger Derek Fisher too as well back in the days because he was in the same draft as well as Kobe Bryant, I believe. So let's continue here.
I'm telling you, last year I didn't know, I know.
To Garnett, back to Kobe. See, that's the Kobe and Garnett. You know, two of the youngest in the Super.
That's the All-Star game. But then again, like you don't really see that many young players, especially for guards, to come out of high school and then join the NBA as well. Mostly you saw was technically centers because you saw with Kevin Garnett too as well. He didn't play. He didn't go to college. He went straight after high school to the NBA as well, like Kobe Bryant. I think it was like maybe a year or so before Kobe Bryant. But then again, most of those guys out of high school, they were like big men, never really guards. But for Kobe Bryant to do that, it's pretty amazing. Let's continue here though.
Keying up, eyeing each other.
Damn, that was a nice crossover there. Broke his ankle a little bit.
I think that's what the fans came to see. If you talk about elevation, shit, he went up to the rafters. Kobe has entered the arena. Here's Bryant doing it again.
It's highlight time for Kobe Bryant. Gives under to Kobe.
When you're a kid dreaming playing basketball.
And I do miss Chick Kern when he was announcer too, man. RIP to him. He was one of probably the best announcers ever too as well. But let's continue.
Backyard, you always do the countdowns, you know, and these are the type of moments that I look for.
That's the thing with Kobe. He did a lot of 360s and a lot of those windmills, dunks as well, but they're always, always nice.
Underneath the screen and roll, you gotta keep a body on. Alley-oop! Oh, what a play for Kobe Bryant! The long alley-oop pass.
Kobe Bryant at the point on a 1-4 offensive formation. Kobe Bryant pulls up for the shot and hits the basket.
That right here is a really, really difficult shot, and that's why like Kobe Bryant did a lot in his career. He did make a lot of difficult shots. Even sometimes could be 3 or 4 players even defending him if he wanted to, and he still end up shooting it. Sometimes he will make it, sometimes he will definitely miss it, but you know, at least he took it. Everyone knows that. He's going to always be the one who's taking the last shot anyway, so like even if you try to double team him, somehow he'll try to find a way to end up making the shot as well. But let's continue here.
With 2.6 to go, giving the Lakers the lead.
Ralph LaFrance there. That's a nice. Well, that's the one thing Kobe Bryant did a lot. He did it on a lot of bigger men's too as well. It's not like he was dunking over like point guards all the time, but he dunked on a lot of centers. We probably will see one with him dunking on Yao Ming too as well, probably, and also Dwight Howard. That one's always the famous one, him dunking, and you kind of see his private part under someone's face. But let's continue here.
Kobe is fouled and he will go to the line. He's putting on a clinic. A real clinic.
Oh, I remember this game a lot. When they came back, they were down by like 15 or something like that. And then they came back in the fourth quarter, and then they end up winning. And this is the probably first year they end up winning the title, I believe. It's one of those because, man, it's been a long, long time. I forget some stuff, but yeah, they did end up winning the title this year here.
Kobe Bryant's 2 free throws and then a jumper gave the Lakers a 4-point lead.
He made a nice play. The rebound is off. It's not free. It's picked up by Kobe for the slam. Oh, a windmill!
That's one thing I loved about Kobe too as well. Is like he did end up playing defense as well, and also play on offense. He did both, so that's amazing. Because some players will just be good at one thing. Some of them would just be good on offense. Some players are just gonna be good on defense. But for Kobe Bryant, he did it both ways. So for him to, even when he was a lot older too as well, and he's still kind of done it, but that's one thing probably got him injured a lot too as well, because he was taking too much toll on doing both things at the same time. But at the end of the day, he still played through a lot of injuries too as well. He never really tried to miss games, and like he said, he rather be there to play for the fans as well. But I know nowadays it's a lot of all right, let's just get back to the video here.
That was a windmill. I mean, that was a big-time windmill.
Oh, Evans, right there. What a slam by Kobe on the follow. Out of nowhere. Here's the hustle play. This time, Bryant.
That's what takes the life out of your team.
Oh, beautiful play. Gorgeous pass. And Bryant gets the crowd up on its feet again.
Numbers maybe not, but they got number 8.
Fire shot's not going to have any hair.
Yeah, I feel bad for like that Utah Jazz team. Like, man, they always have like this. Like looking at this Kings team, like that's a pretty good team. Like you have Mike Bibby, you actually had Chris Webber, then Val Fox and Peja Stojakovic. That's an amazing team right there. The sad part, I know one of the playoffs, the ref was rigging the basketball games and kind of did help the Lakers win that playoff games and stuff like that. Then Lakers did end up winning the title that year too as well. But man, that kind of sucks because, man, that Sacramento Kings team, I think they had the opportunity to at least win one title. Maybe they could have won a little bit more, but let's get back to the video though.
The Lakers up by 10.
Kobe giving hammers it down the foul on Nowitzki.
Dirk Nowitzki there. That's a pretty good, amazing. Also looking at this Dallas team, that's a pretty good team too as well. Michael Finley, then you have Dirk, and then also a young Steve. All these guys are young at this point. So like the young Dirk, young Steve Nash, and then young Michael Finley. That's Jimmy Jackson, I believe. That team could have ended up maybe winning a title. I'm not 100% sure, but Steve Nash did end up signing with the Phoenix Suns later on. Then with just Dirk Nowitzki and Michael Finley. Then Michael Finley kind of went to the Spurs a couple years after that. But yeah, I wonder if Steve Nash stayed with the Dallas Mavericks, if they would end up winning another title or something like that. Because we do know Dirk did end up winning a title, and that was in 2011, and they did end up beating the Lakers that year too as well. Because man, Lakers were going for a three-peat that year as well, but they end up losing to Dallas. I think like 4-1, or might have got swept or something like that. And then we saw the whatever that Bryant did to JJ Barea. That wasn't cool at all. But yeah, maybe Steve Nash would have won a title if he did end up staying, but on that 2011 team. But let's continue here.
You give me a runway and I'll take off.
Holy moly. That was a nice block. And also this was the same New Jersey Nets team Lakers did end up against in the finals and end up actually beating them too as well. And that Nets team wasn't bad either, because they had Jason Kidd at that time. They had Richard Jefferson, who was really, really good at that time. Kenyon Martin, that's when his probably best years was with the New Jersey Nets with Jason Kidd. But when he went to the Denver Nuggets and stuff like that, his career actually went downhill after that. But let's continue here.
Lynch, 2 seconds, 1 second, Kobe pump fake, Kobe for the win! Kobe
The
Bryant!
dagger! The dagger!
Oh man, that Hornets team was pretty like, I kind of like how they were back then, but they changed a lot. So I don't even know who's on this Charlotte team. It was like this just so long ago. But let's continue here.
What a play by Kobe Bryant.
That's a nice dunk against the 76ers. That, I wonder if this one is the one from the finals, the 2001 one, I believe. I keep forgetting what year was the one where they played the Sixers. I think it was 2001 for sure. That Sixers team wasn't too bad either. They got the old version McTombo. Allen Iverson was pretty good. Al Snow. Aaron McKee when he was actually good. I know Aaron McKee, he did end up signing with the Lakers back in the days, but he was injured a lot. Tyrone Hill there. That was a pretty good team.
And there's a foul. Ladies and gentlemen, you can go to a basketball game the rest of your life and you won't see this play duplicated.
Like since then too as well, talking about the Sixers before we get to the Spurs. Like they haven't made it to the finals since then. It's been a long time since they actually even made it to the finals. Even though they've been in the playoffs, but not just they haven't made it back to the finals. But let's continue here. And the Twin Towers of the Spurs, that was an amazing team there with Sean Elliott, Tony Parker, then Ginobili and stuff like that. This is the younger version. Like this is a really young team here. Man, that was an amazing team for the Spurs.
10 seconds remaining.
Oh yeah, I forgot about Bruce Bowen. He was a pretty good defense player, but one of the dirtiest too, though, at the same time.
In this fourth quarter, and the Lakers have come from 10 back over the last 6 minutes and lead 87.
But it's stolen by Kobe. Look out!
Alright, so we're back here because there was a little ad, so I might rewind a little bit here. So let's do that. Alright, a little bit. Yeah, right here.
With the snap and the facial.
Oh my gosh. Down, Kobe. Down.
With a haymaker. Kobe tied up. And on the reverse, acrobatically sends it home.
That's pretty. That's pretty.
He goes down the lane and lost it. Kobe's got his easiest basket. This is a side run. Good defense by the Lakers. Creates some space.
At the buzzer. Made that shot at the buzzer. But for me, like, let's go talk about the Utah Jazz. But I kind of feel bad for them because they have some really amazing teams. They had the one with actually John Stockton and Karl Malone. That one did not win the title. Then Carlos Boozer and Darren Williams. That was a pretty another good team. They didn't end up winning a title there. And now they still have this team with Rudy Gobert and Devin Mitchell. And they were number 1 seed last year, but they did not win either. They got eliminated by the Clippers without Kawhi Leonard. So, man, I don't know. Utah Jazz, they do have some kind of type of bad luck for some reason, but let's continue with the video.
I told you the rest is up to the creator.
Oh, there you go. Finally get to see it. The dunk with on Yao Ming. That was amazing. I know he did a couple times on Yao Ming, that's for sure. But yeah, I was waiting for that one. That's a pretty good Houston team too at that time. Yao Ming, Katito Mobley. I know eventually later on they got like Yao Ming and stuff like that too as well. Was it that team too with Steve Francis, Katito Mobley, and Yao Ming, I believe? But yeah, eventually they did end up getting Team Mac. That was a pretty amazing team too as well. That team didn't get to win titles, but the problem with the Houston team was they were always injured at the same time too as well. Because man, if Yao Ming could stay healthy, I think they had an opportunity to at least win the title. But then again, just too much injuries with T-Mac and Yao Ming. Talking about another team here too. That Blazer team was pretty good too as well. With the Rashard Lewis, then Bonzi Wells, Diamond Stoudemire. Then I know they had a younger, like Zach Randolph. They even had Jermaine O'Neal too as well. Jermaine O'Neal, he became a all-star player too as well with the Pacers. But then again, I don't know. They had a pretty good team. It's just they didn't win any title. Then they did end up facing the Lakers in that one playoffs too, and they added in like Scottie Pippen on that team, but Lakers came back and ended up winning that games too as well. And then they end up winning a title. Let's continue though.
What a play by Kobe. Well, he was so far into the basket.
Fisher, nice rotation of Bryant. Buckle up for Kobe. Kobe Bryant.
That's a nice dunk. What about the Kevin Garnett? He's an amazing player for the Timberwolves, but the problem with the Timberwolves, like they couldn't get any players around him that much. I know that one year they got Sam Cassell, Sprewell, and then they had Willard Zerbiak and stuff like that. But then after that, pretty much nothing. They kind of wasted his prime, but when they traded to him, the Boston Celtics kind of hate it because they did end up beating the Lakers in the 2008 for the title. But at least Lakers kind of did end up getting their revenge on 2010. But let's continue here.
Suck the gravity out of the target center. What a play.
He might have just injured that shoulder a little bit more. The windmill slam.
Kobe over Prince for the lead. Got it. 1 point lead.
I think Kobe and Carmelo Anthony there, I think they only faced one time in the playoffs. I can't be, I know for sure there's only one. I think that was the 2009 playoffs. But after, I don't think they faced each other anymore after that. But for Carmelo though, he was still young. He was still a young kid then. So man, that could have been a really, really amazing matchup. But then again, it never really seemed to happen too often there because Denver Nuggets, they're a pretty good team at times, but they could have been bad too at the same time. But yeah, let's go back to the video.
Got it. 1 point lead.
Long run out by Kobe Bryant. Behind the back.
I always love this dunk, the one also against the Denver Nuggets behind his back, and then also does this 360 kind of dunk.
Oh, what did I just see?
You just saw what Kobe does best, and that's bring people to their feet.
Bryant. Oh, Kobe Bryant. A remarkable move.
You will see from Kobe Bryant this year so much athleticism, so much spectacular play.
Kobe crossover dribble, gets away from Smith, steps inside, passes to himself.
Kobe does that a lot, where he just try to throw it on the backboard and try to get the rebound, comes back to him. Either he will score, sometimes he doesn't, but at the end of the day, he does that a lot, but it's pretty nice because sometimes you never know what the hell Kobe Bryant is doing because he got a lot of tricks on his books because, man, sometimes he will just pump fake and then after maybe the 10th one, finally, someone just jumps and he gets a foul call. Or you never know if he's going to be driving, shooting, or anything, or passing sometimes too as well. But let's continue here.
Oh my goodness, maybe that will ignite the Lakers.
Well, he's gone down to the...
This one kind of sting when they end up losing to Detroit, and this was technically the last time we saw the duel of Kobe Bryant and Shaq after this playoffs. Then we did end up having Gary Payne and Karl Malone on this team, but Karl Malone, he did end up getting injured before this series here, and he didn't get to play in this playoffs here. Maybe if we had Karl Malone, could have been a little bit different, but then again, I don't know. There were too many issues with everybody, seems like, on this team here. They didn't have that chemistry as a team as well. But let's continue here.
Oh, man!
And I believe this is maybe the only game they actually end up winning. I think they did end up winning in overtime, and that's the only game they actually end up winning, but they lost the other ones. But, man.
With 2.1.
Kobe Bryant. That was unbelievable!
Alright, just stop the video again, so because of the ad, but we'll continue here. So he banked shot this 3-pointer, but yeah, man, Kobe, he made a lot of difficult shots. But for me, I wish they had a new Seattle team there. It would be pretty amazing. I kind of like the Sonics team when they were in Seattle, but hopefully, maybe one day they'll have a team in Seattle for a basketball team. That would be amazing as well.
Look, Ray Allen gave Kobe.
against McGrady.
Kobe with a spectacular jam.
There's only a couple guys in the league that can do this. Kobe Bryant, Tracy McGrady, LeBron James. Pretty much stops there.
Oh, Kobe Bryant with the reverse after Kobe. All the way high.
There you go. That's the game winner too. He technically had 2 amazing shots against the Portland that year in the same game too as well. One at the buzzer for tying the game, but then one for overtime to win the game. I feel bad for Portland then because, man, seeing that and then your technically playoffs is over because of Kobe Bryant, that got to sting. But let's continue here.
What a way to finish! Are you kidding me? There's no question it's good. Oh my goodness gracious!
That's the way to end the regular season, kid. That's the way you end it. Kobe put it in on the...
Man, that's a really, really young Zach Randolph. I know he became a really, really good player, especially for the Grizzlies and for the Clippers too as well. There you go. Finally, we get to see the dunk on Dwight Howard. And for me, it's kind of nice to see a redemption story for Dwight Howard coming back to the Lakers. And guess what? End up winning a title. So that's pretty cool. So let's get back to the video though.
This is Dwight Howard. Remember, Mike Krzyzewski was going to be the guy. It could have been his job. Yeah, passed on it. Here goes Kobe. And Kobe's able to put one in.
That was amazing. 3-pointer from with his left hand. We kind of saw him sometimes shoot with his left hand before too as well. He made some, but also missed some too as well. But yeah, we kind of saw that.
Left-handed. Kobe left-handed as the shot clock expires.
Right back. Oh, Kobe Bryant! Woo-hoo-hoo! For human life! What a play! That was sweet.
Kobe at the buzzer. Yes! Oh, my goodness. Don't discount that man. Oh, what a shot on the good top angle off the glass. Will at the shot clock. Got it away. Got it! He does it again. I can't believe this guy tonight.
Oh my goodness.
I remember this game. Kobe got mad. I don't know if he got mad or anything like that, but I know Mark Cuban, he was talking a lot of bad stuff because he did tell Lakers or something like that to MC Kobe or something like that, and then Kobe went off in this game. That's what I kind of remembered. I'm not sure if it was this one. It could have been another one, but I know he said MC that or something after the game. But let's continue.
He is absolutely taking over this game.
Got it away from Bryant and finds Kobe. With the Kobe elevating.
That's a nice dunk. I think this was the one where they were up 3-1 against the Phoenix Suns in the playoffs, and then after that they lost the last 3 games because I think someone in the media said Kobe was taking too much shots or something like that, and then he took no shots some in the games. Goddamn. Let's continue.
And the foul. Well, how serious was that?
Kobe Bryant with points 49 and 50, and the Lakers back in front by 1.
That puts them right back into the same position they were in a few seconds ago. So he goes down.
Knocked away, stolen by Parker.
There it is.
Here comes George to Kobe Bryant. Bryant inside. It's good. It's good. Tie game. 7/10 of a second remaining.
Working on Peterson. Double pump. Got it. You are looking at greatness tonight in Los Angeles. 81. Hugs.
Oh man, I would love to react to that game right there where he scored 41 points. Not 41. What the hell am I talking about? The one where he scored 81 points. That one, I kind of want to react to it, but I don't know if it's on the internet or anything like that. Because if there is one, man, I would love to react to the whole entire game, but man, him scoring 81 points, that was amazing too as well. Because at that time, you didn't really see anyone scoring that many points since Wilt, where he scored 100. I know there's another game where he could have done that. He could have got way more than 81 points, and it was against the Dallas Mavericks as well, because he was at 60-something points, 61, 62 or something. No, not 61. might have been 62 or 63, and while the Dallas Mavericks had only like 62 points, while technically Kobe Bryant technically outscored the whole entire Dallas team, while he had more points. So, yeah, maybe that game he might have got over 100, and there was still like one full quarter left too as well to play, but he did not want to play, so. But he got the 81 in another game, so that was amazing there.
Congratulations from his teammates, from the organization.
Final seconds. Bryant for the win.
Missed them both. The Lakers get it back. Bryant, Kobe, Butter, tied at 95. Kobe, beautiful move on the underneath. What a play! On his back, he got it.
And that was a really difficult shot there, like pump fake, and he was on the air for a long time there.
That one.
They slapped it out of his hands, and as he's falling down, he regroups and throws it in.
His heart out. He played his heart out tonight.
Kobe Bryant! Wow! Kobe, there's your concession. 1:40 to play on the reverse. Kobe, hard to believe.
Are you kidding me? Unreal! Are you kidding me?
How strong was that? A triple.
Oh man, that Portland team, that Portland Trailblazer team could have been really amazing, but the problem is injuries kind of killed that, because Brent Roy, he was amazing for a couple, like 4 or 5 years. Then that injury to the knee or something like that kind of ruined his career. And then Greg Oden with injuries as well himself. Man, that with the Marcus, Greg Oden, Brandon Roy, that could have been an amazing team right there, but injuries. But let's continue.
On a fall away in the corner with a shot locked down.
Oh, what a move. Going right at Ginobili. Guard that. Oh, my.
He backed up center on the World Championship team 2 years ago.
Kobe Bryant takes off from the elbow and throws it down.
Wow, that's 15. Now Yao, did he walk? He's blocked away by Kobe from behind.
That's a nice block on Yao Ming there.
Glad they didn't blow the whistle.
By Kobe, I mean, he's been coming out of center field with a lot of plays, and Yao says, where did he come from? Isn't it illegal to come out of the rafters? You have to start from the floor, don't you?
Bryant to the basket and the finish right at good.
It's down to 7. Starting the Baker's move for the win. He got the lead for him. 123-121. Did it go too early, though, with 4.3 to play?
Well, we're going to find out.
Bryant to the basket inside. Oh, what a finish for Bryant.
On the run, Kobe on the reverse.
Well, you let him turn the corner, try to get it down low, picked off. Here's Bryant flipping over the head, walk behind the back.
I do love that play right there, because it is kind of like teamwork there. One pass from Kobe Bryant, then one from Luke Wong, and then you pass it to Lamar Odom, gets an easy basket. So that was a nice play there.
What a play by the Lakers. Standing ovation here at Staples.
The loose ball. Look who's got it. Double clutch reverse. 92-77. They're on their feet at Staples. Timeout Hornets. Kobe showing a little bit of the young Kobe. Pop off, Kobe. Pop it a little bit. Ball bounces right to you, and he puts on a show. Entertain me a little bit. Let me see it again. We're going to break. I got time. Leaving it on. Kobe on the reverse. Do you believe this guy? He never saw it. Back to the basket. He knows where it is. What a play by Kobe again. Spectacular. Lakers by 25.
Utah came back from down 0-2 last year to Houston in the first half. Bryant cleaned up the glass for himself. Yes, he did. That was sensational. He took the double team, split it.
Behind his back, on a spin. Oh, and the slam.
That was an amazing pass there from Kobe Bryant. Even to spin, like to make that pass and not like lose the ball there, it's kind of difficult because, man, you could have got stripped or anything like that, and you could have turned the ball over, but he did not. But it was a pretty nice pass and nice dunk by Turioff there.
The line looking to play. The crowd was on their feet. Look at that one behind the back to spin. Nice play, and then the three-point opportunity coming to Ronnie Turioff. Kobe, show me some footwork.
Showtime! 360, 107, 100 Lakers.
What a defensive play in the last 2 minutes.
Randolph tried to slap him at home. Wow. Get it out of here. Mason guards Kobe. 4-second difference. Bryant a three. Good! Kobe a three! Timeout. Spurs. The other night played through it.
Good point. Battier watching Kobe. Scooping, driving, and putting it in. How in the world did he do that?
He passed himself off the backboard. That was a planned play, Kevin. I've seen him do that a lot.
He's got 40.
Bryant, it's inside. Oh, what a finish from Kobe Bryant, and a foul.
Oh, there you go. Talking about that actually Jazz team right there with Carlos Boozer and also Darren Williams. But I forgot about the young Paul Millsap, Kyle Korver. Then they have Andre Kirilenko. That was a pretty good team. But let's get back to the video.
Throws it down in the face of Paul Millsap.
Well, absolutely. There was a time where this guy would try to get 50 tonight, and his team would have a chance of winning.
The 2009 playoff finals here, actually. I was about to say playoffs, but it's actually the finals. God damn it. It says right there, the finals. And that's the year they got their revenge because the year before they end up losing to the actually Boston Celtics. But this year is the year they actually end up winning the title in 2009 against Orlando Magic. And then 2010, of course, they also end up against Boston again. They got their revenge finally, and they end up beating them in the 2010 finals.
But they're at their best when he's making plays. Wow! And speaking of making plays, Bryant banks.
That right there is a difficult shot to even hang that long and then shoot it over that big man of Dwight Howard. I'm not sure how that shot not get blocked, but most people shot would have got a block in there, but it is Kobe Bryant.
It in, off balance, falling down.
Shot clock at 6. Bryant for 3. Puts it in! Kobe Bryant from downtown! And the Lakers regain the lead.
Look at the determination on his face. J.R. Smith caught with his hands down. Talk about closer, no question about it.
Great play by Bryant. Kobe will take it in and throw it down on Paul.
Right, stop the video again because of the ad, but let's bring it back a little bit. Right here. There you go.
No question about it.
Great play by Bryant. Kobe will take it in and throw it down.
And it's the older version of Kobe Bryant too. This dunk on Chris Paul. It was nice because we haven't seen it for a while, and then he dunked it on Chris Paul. That was amazing. I know the fans were going crazy too, even though they weren't Lakers fan, but they were Clippers fan, but they're going crazy too at the same time.
Bryant, yes! And that was a little...
Like right there. That's amazing defense by Grant Hill. Like, it's just better offense, but it's just crazy how many crazy shots Kobe Bryant made, even though people... I don't know. I feel bad for some of those players who are playing really amazing defense, and then all of a sudden Kobe still made it somehow. That's just insane.
Pass to Alvin Gentry. Add insult to injury, Kobe. I mean, what a shot. I mean, you can't defend that. Are you kidding me?
What a reverse by Kobe Bryant.
Kobe on a spin, what a pivot. Yes! Standing ovation at Madison Square Garden for some of the most, as Kobe Bryant has 61 points.
He's picked up the dribble, following jump shot. Kobe Bryant, 32,000 1,000 points in his career, and he gets a free throw for the and one. 106.
Yeah. 32,000 points. That's a lot of points. Maybe he could have even had more if it wasn't for his rookie year. The first 2 years, he didn't really play too much. You never know. He could have had way more points than that, but let's continue.
102.
Talking about that, I forgot. Like, also LeBron James, he did end up passing Kobe Bryant the day before, like a couple of days before actually Kobe Bryant passed, so that kind of sucks. The last tweet too was for LeBron when he passed him in points. Man.
16, 13, and 2.5.
No! The Mamba still has venom in those veins.
Bryant for the win at the buzzer.
He is hard to believe.
No, he's not.
Amazing again at the buzzer.
Head of the field, LeBron tries to chase down. Came up short.
How many times have we seen that with LeBron James as a steal by Chris Paul on that chase down?
They get it to Kobe. Kobe to
Even there were still, even right there were still two players, and he still shot it and still ended up making it there.
Bryant hasn't shot yet. Looks like he's going to do it right here. Slam! Dunk! Bryant as he goes baseline to score.
Oh, Bryant puts it in after the contact.
I love the look afterwards. Remember me, buddy?
Going up over Bell, ball away. Yes! Yes! At the buzzer, he does it. Was there ever a doubt? Kobe wins it for the Lakers.
Kobe drives. Kobe all the way.
There we go. That was the dunk I was waiting for. The one on Brooklyn Nets, the one on Chris Humphrey and Jared Wallace. Man, the roof went off for sure, especially in the arena with all the fans who were cheering, even though there weren't even Lakers fans. Was Brooklyn Nets fans there? They were just cheering for him. That's what has kind of set it off with that dunk. And then after that, Lakers end up winning that game. That's what I remember. It's been a while, but that was nice dunk.
Kobe Bryant, sensational. Drive and a slam.
Everybody, even the Nets fans are on their feet.
Look out. And the Lakers lead 82-80. Classic Bryant.
The slam dunk by Kobe Bryant to give the Lakers the lead.
Can he get it off in time on the run off the glass? Did it! He did it again! Amazing! Kobe has just won it for the Lakers. Go look at it.
With half a minute to play, Bryant for the lead. Yeah!
And this game right here, his final game too, man. One way to send off your final game. Score 61 points. And, oh man, it's pretty nice because were we expecting him to score 61 points? Probably not. But for Kobe Bryant, probably would. Because to me, it sounds like more a movie if we were talking about it. Because this would have been an amazing way to end your game. But that's what happened in real life in this game. Kobe did score 61 points. And he made some really, really clutch shots too as well. And one to take a lead too as well. Because they were down like 1 point. He made that shot. And then game was history after that. But man, one way to send it off. But let's play the last couple seconds here.
Kobe Bryant gives the Lakers the lead. You are watching one of the greatest performances in the history of this game.
Mamba out.
It's kind of tough because, man, we don't get to see this man anymore because I would love to watch his interviews and all that stuff too as well. Especially when him speaking to other players that he played against, man, those would have been amazing stories. And him talking about with other players too, that would have been amazing. But we not gonna see him. We did not get to see him anymore, which kind of sucks. But end of the day, he left a legacy for us and also for the players who are gonna keep his legacy going on. So that's gonna be amazing there, because there is a lot of players who he really touched, not just in basketball but in other sports as well. Alright, before we end the video here, I'm gonna read one of my favorite quotes from Kobe Bryant, and the quote is, "Heroes comes and go, but legends are forever." And I will see you guys next time.